Hello my friend and welcome to episode 12 of our Football Manager 2020 Beta Let's Play with Rangers. We find ourselves at the end of the first season and we're starting with the hierarchy. If we click a look on us, we can see just about everyone in the team supports us. Those that don't is Varampos on loan, Batista Mer on loan, Caprit on loan, Acosta, Aarons and McPake. McPake came back in January, of course. Acosta was a January signing, as was Aarons. So, you know, that's fairly good. If we have a look at our social groups, we've got a pretty strong core social group, to be honest. Only Jack, Aribo, Docherty, Flanagan, Jones, Edmundson and Aarons not in that. And that's quite good. Strangely, it's recommending that we sign some pretty decent players. And Shackle. Who in the world is Shackle in? Yeah, we're not going to be able to afford him. Because I assume 2.4 to 4.9 million is a very, very outdated scout report, given that valuation. But you know, some decent players there it's recommending. Happiness wise, most people are pretty happy, you know, apart from Jermaine Defoe, who is on loan, and we don't really care about him. Everyone else is delighted or happy. So, smashing stuff there. Code of conduct and team meeting we're not going to worry about too much. I'm also going to have a quick look, and let's have a look at our staff. Now, this has changed quite a bit from right at the end of the season. Obviously, budgets and stuff changing. So we've got space for one more coach, 2 more scouts, which I'm going to go and get. That's just been increased. Data analysts were over, but we've always been over. That was 4 out of 1 for a very long time. We've now allowed a loan manager, ironically, so I will actually go and get one that's slightly better than Billy Kirkwood stat wise. I need to have a look at what stats are good for that. Can maybe change our sports scientists actually, because our sports science really isn't very good. We're about the best in the league everywhere else, so that's great stuff there. Do need to have a look at all my coaches and stuff, but apparently we've got the best coaches in the league. If we have a look at our development centre now, I've not paid enough attention to this because, as you see with my reserve staff, that is not good enough. Did go through all my under 18s rather. We've got allowed 2 more coaches. It's actually really frustrating because I brought in a load of coaches in interviews because I thought I was buying for reserves. And we've got a space for an assistant manager which we couldn't afford. Our transfer budget, which we'll go into soon, is not good enough for us to do that. So if we have a look at our loans first of all, and we click on details, is it? Yep, appearances. So as you see, Jordan Ross are making 49 appearances. He's got a new contract, so he's going to come back. Stephen Kelly, 46 appearances for Ayr. Those ones could be ignored. Although Nathan Patterson, unfortunately, he's regressed a bit towards the end, and he's a player that I had quite a lot of hope for. You know, right back as well. Not maybe best going forward, but you know, it is what it is. Jake Hasty, 43 games for Rotherham. Jack Almwick's leaving. Jordan Houston making 39 appearances for Ayr. Again, what's his potential? It's got decent potential. We could make a player out of Jordan Houston still, but he's maybe just getting on a bit too much now for that. Holt's leaving. Jamie Murphy had an absolute storming season at Motherwell. Zach Run had a decent season. And if we click on progress, McKinnicky benefited a lot. Cammy Palmer benefited a huge amount. What's his potential? 3-star. It's maybe not quite good enough, but actually he'll get an SPL loan next time, I would imagine. So he's currently operating at championship level, but I would say you'll get an SPL loan next time. Mabudi straight up 19 appearances, 2 assists, 4 goals for young Dapo. I'm surprised that he got an SPL loan there, actually, to be honest. It doesn't strike me as quite good enough for SPL yet, but you know, he came in and that's quite an upward trajectory. And at one point it literally was just a bar that went from one corner to the other. Yeah, I think overall loans went quite well. Reserve squad, we've got potentials. Dean McMaster, we obviously brought in on a free transfer. Nathan Young Combs looks to be pretty good. He had a very good loan, and look at that graph again. Kane, Richie Holster, Just promoted him from the youth team and gave him a new contract, which is unfortunately quite a big one. And Alex Lowry, I'm very, very excited by this lad. 16 years old, and he's already at championship level. I think if we can get him a good loan, Glenn Kamara in here because he's recovering from an injury. Everyone else looks pretty decent. And in the under 18s, we didn't get a good youth intake, unfortunately. We've got Jay Hogarth, Umar Balde, Cole McKinnon. Is Balde leaving actually? Did I set him for release? I feel like there was a Balde I set for release. It's not him anyway. He's got another season on his contract, but you know, again, another couple of least decent prospects. And we won the under 18s Elite League, 4 points ahead of the other team. Who, when we go to Premiership, we finished 6 points ahead of them. Morelos second top goal scorer, Alan McGregor second for clean sheets. I feel if we didn't have that bad start to the season, this league would have looked so amazing, and we'd have had European football, which was a big issue. If we go for player detailed is what I'm wanting. So if we can find goals, as you see, Alfredo Morelos second, Tavernier up in 6 with 13. Obviously he was taking penalties. Kent there with 9 and Aribo there with 8 as well on that list. Minutes per goal, Morelos second again at 148, which isn't bad considering he's got about 5 composure. Exactly 5 composure. Hopefully that will be boosted by Tuesday's full release of the game. Tavernier on 189 minutes per goal. It's almost a goal every other game. Shots, you know, actually when you consider that, Morelos had 30 less shots than Edward. Shots on target, it's only 20 less. He only scored 4 less goals, remember. So that's decent. Conversion rate, Tavernier at 21%, obviously most of them penalties, Morelos at 16%. And assists, Forrest leading away for Celtic, but for us, Barisic and Tavernier on 9 apiece. Acosta coming in January, remember, on 7, Morelos on 6, and the other one I want to see isn't there would have been Batista Mayer. Key passes, again Barisic, Jack's up there actually, and again that's all on that list for us. Pass completion though, Ross McCrory, Ryan Jack, Joe Aribo, in fact Ross McCrory getting it. He is going to be such an important player for us. I've got him under a new contract. He's on £7.5 a week till 24. Got that leadership contract thing on him as well. Big improvement from him this year. I'm very excited. And his brother's made his debut now. And if we go down, cross completion ratio is that any of us. Ken and Barisic sitting decent actually at about 30%. Offside, Alfredo Morelos. Yeah, maybe need to work on that, but I think a lot of that was earlier on in the season. Clean sheets we've already seen, Alan McGregor sitting there, and I think Robbie McCrory would be down here as well. And excuse me, not too much else to really show their, you know, appearances. If you played 38 games, are you there? We don't have anyone that's even played 37, so in fact I think we do, but it's irrelevant. So, what do I think of this season, how it's gone? If you have a look, you know, this bit of the season here was bad, but from the end of August, this defeat here was there. That's a cup game, so league-wide, we lost in the end of October. We lost the first game of the season and the third. I think we had 3 losses all year. There you go. So it was just that bad start, and maybe a few too many draws. You know, there's a draw against Hearts, Ross County, Celtic. Maybe expect that. It's at Johnston, and then that's where we got obviously the warning about the job. But again, we didn't. We had 1 draw after that. You know, so actually in hindsight, it was a bad start. But we fixed things, then broke things, and then fixed them again. And you know, from there, it kind of was that we just went on a rampage. So actually, in hindsight, I said that I felt we started poorly this season. We didn't actually start all that poorly. I don't remember this game. This was on camera as well, this game. That's where we got our warning. 7 minutes and 8 minutes in. Squad wise, we're looking at selling some players. So we've listed, where is it? Brandon Barker, Scott Arfield, Stephen Davis. We need them off the wage bill. Simple as that. You know, Davis is on 15 grand. We renewed his contract. I'm regretting that decision. Arfield's on 18 grand. He's not getting a game. You know, he's played 3 starts. He's on 18 grand. Davis will be similar. 6 starts, but that's because we played the 4-2-3-1 and the 4-1-2-1-2, remember. That's where he's got all his starts. I mean, that's 36 grand there. Jordan Jones we need to get rid of. He's on another 9. Brandon Barker's on 8. No, so we're already about 50k. Flanagan, I had accepted a bid for Flanagan, but then all the process of the end of the season stuff came in. So the bid I accepted was 1.5 million. It was valued at 1.2 when I accepted that bid, and now it's worth 4.6. And I'm glad I double checked it, and I'll tell you why I double checked it in a minute. So I've offered him at the same clubs that offered that, but I'm obviously not selling him for 1.5 million when he's worth 4.6. And in reality, as much as he's on 13 grand a week, he can still be a backup right back and hold on his own at left back as well. You know, he's not a bad player. And, you know, again, 3 appearances from the start and 12 off the bench. It's not great, but next year hopefully we'll have European football. So we'll need bigger depth, and he is the kind of guy that can offer depth. Granted, I'd rather have the 13 grand in wages in the kitty and 4.6 million, of which we would get 75% of it, if I remember correctly. We'll have a look at that when we go to finances. I had to ask for more because it was getting cut constantly. So I'd rather have that, but I think that it's probably best to let him go. Hutton's obviously away on a free. Fotheringham's away on a free. There's someone else, I can't remember who it is. We've got Batista Mayer coming back in, of course. And who else did we list? There was another player listed. I'm tempted to sell Aarons again. You know, we'd make a profit on him, a very, very quick profit. But I'm not convinced with him, you know. And there was someone else. Listed Archer. Again, he's not on a big wage though, but I kind of want red. I feel like there's someone else listed. Can I go here and see who is all transfer listed? Davis, Arfield, Flanagan, Barker, Jones, Greg Stewart, Halliday, he's away anyway, and Firth's away anyway, so it's just Greg Stewart. Why is he still transfer listed? That's... I mean, I'm going to sell him, so it's kind of saved me a job, but I never ever leave players transfer listed for that period of time. The reason why I spotted the Flanagan thing was I got an offer for 10 million for Ryan Kent, and I was seriously considering it. Now, there's a few players that could come in on a free transfers who I like the look of, but again, he's on 20 grand a week. Is he a 20 grand a week with a player? Probably not. The guys that we could bring in probably do just as good a job, and that's kind of where I'm hinting at, is the 10 finishing. I feel he gets into so many positions, but he's only got 9 goals and 4 assists, and a lot of them have come in the back half of the season where he has improved. And I will say, I think that Ryan Kent is our most improved player this season. His performances from the first half of the season to the back half of the season were massively different. Obviously, he's got that 2-year Scottish Cup ban. But we had an offer of him for £10 million, and I was considering it because he was only worth 5. And when I went to, I got to the point where I was like, actually, do you know what? I'll go and accept that we're in talks with a couple of guys that can come in on a free, get rid of the 20k off the week, clicked them, valued at 10 million. I'm like, why am I selling him for 10 million when he's worth 10 million? We can get 15 million maybe. So, trying my luck. It works, we keep him, and it's great because, you know, he's been first choice. He's played 30 games with 1 off the bench in the league, 4 Scottish Cup games, the 1 Brentford Cup game, and all, I think most, if not all, of the Europa League games. So, you know, he can justify 20 grand a week. I don't think he's quite good enough for 20 grand a week, but he can justify it compared to the others, and I do think he's our most improved player this season based on performances at the start of the season to the end. You can actually see how rotated that team was at the end. We played Robbie McCrory, Hickey, Berzonis in there, and Josh McPakel, and he actually scored. We won 2-0. I'm just going to quickly show you, just for the sake of showing you, we won 2-0, 2-1 rather. Sorry, they got that 94th minute equaliser. Aaron's on the score sheet. Player of the year, I don't think we can look past probably Morelos or McCrory, but if we have a look at average rating, maybe they have a difference. Billy Gilmore, ignore it, was one performance. Acosta, very, very strong shout. Particularly when you consider 4 goals, 7 assists in 14 games with 2 off the bench. But Morelos actually all the way down here. Tavernier's actually rated higher. So maybe, for me, my personal was Alfredo Morelos. Big goals at big times. You know, once he kicked onto his game. Tavernier's probably the game's player of the year for us. I've not seen that yet, of course. Signing of the year, Acosta. It was free transfer, it has to be. But I'm going to put a very strong honourable mention in. This guy. I can't believe we've got him back next season. I cannot believe they let us have him back next season. And they're going to be paying some of his wages next year because I've done it before his wage rise went up. That's in his club contract. It's valued at 1.3 million. I'd be very, very tempted to. I'm going to, you know, he's got another year in his contract after this, and I don't think we'll be able to renew. But I'm very, very tempted to try and pursue that. Finances on we go. We have a huge transfer budget as our reward for winning the league, 140,000. Granted, most of that is down to the bank balance. That's with the £3 million prize money coming in as well, although I think 750,000 of that went to Liverpool and Brighton respective on their deals for Goldson and Tavernier. Not Tavernier, Ryan Kent. Don't know why I said Tavernier. So that's the issue there. Wage budget, we're committed to spending 453,000 of our 517,000 wage budget. That's including a couple of offers, and obviously we're trying to offload some players as well. I do want to trim down the squad and rebuild it on cheaper wages. You know, we'll trim it down. We'll try and sell even guys like Jamie Murphy, who had an absolute stormer of a season on loan at Motherwell. As you see, 11 goals, 4 assists for Motherwell. It's a really good season. Can't play against us, of course. He was taking points off everyone else. So, you know, budget's not good. So if we want to bring in, reality is it's going to have to be free, an absolute steal, or sell to buy. And, you know, as much as, let's have a look. So, have a look at our wanted actually. So, wanted, Tavernier, Villa, West Ham, Wolves. They could definitely put in a bid that could cause issues there. It's worth 11.75. Kent, we've already spoke about. Goldson, Villa, Norwich, West Ham again, valued at 8. He seems to be regressing though. He was 4.5 star at the start of the season. He's now second best centre back. Not sure why he's regressing, but it might be worth cashing in. That'll be something I'll decide over the close season. Morelos, Schalke have been scouting him almost consistently for the entire season. The Chinese side's a new side that's interested, but obviously both of them could cause problems. He's valued at 15 from memory, exactly 15. But the 5 composure is an issue as well. The problem with Morelos is he's played exactly 100 games, by the way, according to that down the bottom right. The big problem with Morelos is that composure. Now, granted, in the league, probably scored more goals than Edouard out with penalties, because Morelos only took a couple of penalties, whereas I assume Edouard's taken a good few. So that's obviously that. So that's kind of where I'm sitting at. If we have a look at our team report, which is probably going to be a big thing. Squad depth, please. All by current ability. Morelos 4-star. Right wing is an issue area, but Batista May are playing there quite well. Ryan Kent, obviously the best. Midfield, we've got Rossiter coming back. I don't think we need to touch any midfielders unless we lose. And, you know, this is an area where we could legitimately lose without having to replace too much. Fullbacks, we've got a right back coming in on a free. Goalkeepers is an issue area again because Fodderingham's away. Archer we're trying to sell. McCrory I would like to loan out. McGregor obviously in huge regression. You can see the declines coming out at 38. So goalkeepers an issue area, but we've got again someone coming in on a transfer deal. It's 1.2 million rising at 1.7, but I'll go into that next episode, of course. So realistically, we need, well, Hickey's going to be back up left back again. We've got another young left back coming in. We've got a right back coming in, so that doesn't need to be touched. We probably need a backup defender. maybe 2 backup defenders, because Edmonton could maybe be sold. I'm not sure on that. That's something again I'm considering. So defence, we need to improve the depth. Strikers, if we lose Morelos, we are royally screwed up top, because Acosta is our next best striker. Can he play as an advanced forward? He actually can. Do you know what? He's actually not probably a half bad one, but you know, he's not natural at it. It's actually not. It's actually pretty good. I would actually have him as a second choice striker. We've got McPake obviously developing behind, who I kind of want to show you, but it's not going to let me through this. But you know, just looking at that, and as much as I can say, you know, you can look at this and go, this is your assistant view. Other than Acosta, I'd have him as my first choice central midfielder, without a shadow of a doubt. As you see, 4.5 star current ability. That's maybe why Goldson's gone down so much, to be honest. But that's maybe why Goldson's gone down, as I said. You know, other than him being up higher there, that would literally be probably my opinion of the strongest team. You know, you've got McGregor, you've got Goldson, Katic, Barisic, McCrory okay above Jack there, but I'll have Jack above Arfield here as well, and obviously Acosta up there, and Aribo playing here, Batista Mayer there, Kent there, Morelos there. So it's very, very, what Gary McAllister's saying is very, very similar in my opinion. Jordan Jones is nowhere near second best inside forward, by the way, on the left. I'm trying to sell him. I would like to get him off the budget, to be honest. If we get any money, I'll be happy. It's just, he doesn't feel good enough. Mavropanos, I could maybe extend his loan if they'd be interested in that. So that's something I'm going to consider. And on that, guys, you let me know in the comments down below what you think. Give a like for the championship. Well, champions. Give a subscribe for next season. And I'll hopefully catch you all next time.